Chapter 11. The Covenant of Hugsy woke up on December 14th, and the room was silent. The briefcase people were gone. The hand under the door was gone. The red dark had evaporated, replaced by a clarity so sharp it felt like looking through a diamond. I looked over at the corner of the bed. Hugs was there, sleeping in a tight black circle. For the first time, I saw her not just as a cat, but as the keystone of my survival. The enemy had known it too. They knew I was a wolf, to the rest of the world tough, leather-skinned, and impervious to their usual traps of shame and fear. But Hugs, she was my Achilles heel. She was the only point of entry they had left. She was the only thing soft enough to break me. The exchange, I sat on the edge of that hotel bed, the static in my head finally humming a tune of peace, and I received my marching orders. The voice of the Most High didn't give me a theology degree. He didn't tell me to go to a seminary or back to the Mormon word. He gave me a simple, terrifyingly specific instruction. Take care of the cat, and I'll take care of everything else. It was a contract. A covenant. I looked at her, breathing rhythmically in the morning light. The Lord was asking me to become a Secret Service agent for a 10-pound animal. He was telling me that my entire spiritual recovery, the house, the money, the sanity, the future rested on my ability to protect this one small life. Done, I whispered. I would have easily given my life to protect her. The shadow hunters didn't understand that. They thought attacking my Achilles heel would make me collapse. They didn't realize that attacking her would turn the wolf into a dragon, the target on her back. The drive back to Salt Lake wasn't a retreat. It was an extraction mission. I put Hugs in the passenger seat of the Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, and I drove with a new kind of unnatural anxiety. This wasn't the fear of the border. This was the hypervigilance of a bodyguard. I realized then that the heavy dark wasn't just after me anymore. They were going to try to get to me through her. If they could make her sick, if they could make her get lost, if they could hurt her, they knew I would crumble. My training had begun. I wasn't just getting sober. I was learning to stand in the gap. Every time I filled her bowl, it was an act of warfare. Every time I brushed her fur, I was polishing the armor of the Lord. I wasn't just taking care of a pet. I was holding up my end of the bargain. I was proving to the Father that I could be trusted with the small things, so that one day he could trust me with the big things. The anchor of the garage we got back to the house, the one I had bought with the vile fuel, and I locked the doors. The world outside could keep its fine mask. I wasn't interested. For the next few years, that garage became our monastery. Me, the Grand Cherokee, and Hugs sat, she was the barometer of the room. When the parasites tried to creep in under the garage door, she would stare at them with those yellow eyes, her tail twitching. She saw what I saw. She felt what I felt. She was the only other witness to the transformation happening in the dark. I watched her sleep, and I remembered the deal. Take care of the cat. I got you, Hugs, I'd say, the static finally quiet enough for me to hear my own heart. Nothing touches you, not while I'm breathing. The enemy had miscalculated. They thought my love for her was a weakness. They didn't know that it was the very thing the Lord would use to teach me how to love him. I was no longer just a survivor. I was a guardian. And as long as Hugs was safe, that everything else was in God's hands.